Hi everyone. Today I would like to help new entrepreneurs who have some business ideas in mind, what things they should bear in mind when they want to start any business. So first thing, if you have any business idea in mind, you should start with the tool called financial model. So this Excel tool describes all the revenues, all the expenses that you have inside your business idea, because this is the starting point. If you're not building the financial model, you don't know exactly how much money you need to start, what will be the payback period, what will be the level of the revenue, what will be the levels of costs. So there's if you're missing this step, 99% of entrepreneurs, if they start without building financial model, they face tragic realities. So first thing they see that the revenues they expected, they're lower than they thought they would be. The levels of costs are higher than they expected. So usually the classic situation when a person comes to me and says, well, I have this or that type of business idea, so let's try to build some financial model. So when the model is ready, when entrepreneur starts playing with the inputs, he quickly sees that the revenues are lower, the costs are higher, the amount of money that he needs is bigger than he projected, and this leads to rethinking of his business concept. And thanks God that it happens during the financial model stage, because lots of entrepreneurs face this reality when they're already running a business without building a model, so they didn't see that the revenues will be lower, the cost will be higher, the amount of money they will need will be bigger. So they're missing this step, so they face all this in reality. Wise entrepreneurs, they do financial modeling. So during financial modeling stage, they play with the parameters that affect the revenues, that affect the costs, that affect the investment stage expenses. They're building hundreds of scenarios, building the stress tests, and then they create the scenario that will be put into reality. Always they change a lot inside their business concept, so it takes them some time to rethink what they thought they would be their first initial business concept. When they build the model, they see that their concept was unrealistic, too optimistic, so they bring their thoughts, their business concept to reality. So this is the most important part of financial modeling stage. And before you start, you need to, so how to solve this issue, how to calculate the amount of money you need the right way, accurately, how to calculate the revenues correctly. So first of all, you need to start with the revenues. So the revenues consist of two main parts. So it is the price multiplied by the units sold. So first of all, you need to understand. Let's start with the price. First of all, you need to understand what type of customers do you have. Is there any, how they behave inside the timeline, how often they purchase, what is the average check for each type of customer. So think hard about your business idea and try to understand what type, is there any, for example, seasonality in pricing inside the typical week, inside typical year. Are there any fluctuations for the prices for different customers? Maybe you have different pricing strategies for different segments, for different customers, for different distribution channels. Then, for example, this is the first parameter, pricing. Then we start talking about the units sold. For the units sold, we have the same story. You need to understand if there any seasonality in sales plan. Then the most important part, when we're moving to the costs, we need to divide the costs into two buckets. The first bucket will be fixed costs, the costs that are stable, whatever your revenues increase or decrease. So these costs are stable. They don't increase or decrease when your revenues are going down or going up. So, and in the second type of costs, they are variables or direct costs. So they increase when the revenues increase, and they decrease when the revenues go down. So directly linked with the revenues. So what you need to do, so first of all, the first thing you need to do, you need to detach fixed costs that are stable from variables that are directly linked to the revenues. Because if you don't do that, once you start playing with the inputs of your model, you will be misinformed. You will get the wrong cash flow. Your costs will be growing unproportionally to the revenue. So you will be, for example, the majority of entrepreneurs, they put direct costs inside fixed costs, and when they increase the revenues, their cost doesn't grow proportionally, and as a result they get the fake cash flow, they get the fake payback period. The payback period is shorter than it is in reality. Then the first part, it will be the fixed costs, and then you're moving to the direct costs. So direct costs, you need to think hard and make a list of all the expenses that somehow linked to the revenues. They may be linked to the amount of shifts. They may be linked to the amount of units that you sell. They may be linked to the amount of hours that your equipment works. This may be linked to anything that grows when your revenues are growing. As a result, when you increase the revenues, all these costs, these direct costs, they will be growing with the right pace. So you will be getting the right cash flow. As a result of the correct cash flow, you will be shown the right payback period, and you will be shown the realistic amount of money that you need to start. So first thing, you need to start with the revenues, pricing, and units sold. So seasonality, different types of customers, how they purchase your product or your service. Also, you need to understand that your customers, you need to think about the duration of the life cycle of your customers. So your customers may have some types. For example, one type of customer will stay with you for a year. Another type of customer will stay with you for 6 months, for a year. Another type of customer may just do one purchase and then quit. So also think about that, because usually entrepreneurs, they just simply increase the revenues, forgetting to mention that some customers will leave the project, so the future revenues will be lower than they expect. Because if the revenues will be lower, then the payback period will be longer. So bear that in mind. So all your customers won't stay with you forever. They will be quitting, new customers will be joining, and so also think about the portraits of different customers, because some of them will be making 3 purchases a day, another of them will be making 1 purchase a year. So also think about that. Also think about the seasonality of the purchases. So some of them will be purchasing a lot during summer months. Another type of customers may be purchasing the whole year long, and so on. So the same seasonality may be hiding inside the typical week. The same story goes with units sold. So that's the way you will be getting the correct revenues, accurate revenues. Try to be as detailed as possible. So they remember that level of detail is the key factor of the financial model and your business success. If you are not detailed enough, then financial model is useless. You won't be able to see the realistic picture for the financing, payback period, net present value, and so on. So this is useless if you are not detailed enough. Don't be in a hurry. Just try to find out what parameters affect your revenues, direct costs, investment plan expenses, customer behavior, seasonality, and so on. So these are the main things I wanted to cover. If you find this format useful, please give me some comments below. It will be very interesting to read them. If this format will be accepted by you guys, I will be doing similar videos with different types of businesses. I will be covering the inputs that you need to focus on. So usually we have some screen demonstrating videos, Power BI and financial model. Also I may be talking about the inputs and basic things that entrepreneurs need to bear in mind when they start different types of businesses. I was helping people to start small businesses, medium, huge companies for like say 20 years. So if you have some questions, you can ask them in the comment section. Maybe I will make a separate video for to give the answer for your question that you will put in the comments. So subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next videos, and bye.